What's good, YouTube family? It's your boy Sinister. I'm back. Got a build video for you guys. This is my PvP build after the patch, which I'm not like super pleased with, but what can you do, right? If you haven't read the description, this is a madness build. I know people have been having like a lot of problems with running into madness builds in PvP because a lot of people have used the game mechanics to their advantage. I don't necessarily disagree with it. I don't necessarily agree with it, but it is what it is. You can use almost anything in here to cheese. I'm not going to get into how I personally feel about madness being debuffed or nerfed or whatever you want to call it. Just because that's not the type of energy I want to bring to the channel, but I'm going to show you guys how I do the madness build. I've had success with it. I don't win all my PvP, my invader encounters. That's just how it works. But I'm going to show you how I do it, and I'm going to go through like the methods of PvPing with a madness build after the patch. Now, first I'm getting to my gear, which I think is one of the most important parts, or at least the part of the discussion that I wanted to get into after I silence my phone. Give me 1 second. So starting off, we got Vike's War Spear. This is our main weapon. Of course, we're going to left hand the Frenzy Flame Seal. I had my War Spear maxed out, so it's doing nicely for me. Here's the thing, guys, with madness. Yes, it does do the status effect, which only works on tarnish, guys. So using it against NPCs isn't really going to help you unless those NPCs are the mimics, because they happen to turn into tarnished most of the time. I have sometimes they do the weird thing where they just morph parts of them, but for the most part they'll turn into tarnish, and that's great. But and I think this is the most important aspect of a madness build that a lot of people forget, or that I think gets missed, which is why people were aiming for the status effect build, which again, great against tarnished. So in PvP it's causing problems. Most of all of the madness incantations, with the exception of the shriek, deal fire damage, which Vike's War Spear does too. So essentially, what you want to go for is a fire build with the status effect of madness. So if you look down here, your equipment doesn't matter. This just looked cool to me, so that's why I chose this particular fit, just because he looks dope, like a Lord of Madness should. But fire, we want to buff the shit out of fire. We just want to do as much fire damage. I'm still looking to see if I can, like, if there's like a +1 or a +2 of this charm. If you guys know anything about that, please let me know down in the comments. But fire is what we're mainly going for here. And then I also have poison as like a backup. So I have my Naginata, my poison cross Naginata, and I have my poison partisan. Both of these actually relatively easy to get. But if you look down at the bottom, they both do pretty nice poison. and a little, a little bleed on my cross naginata. Uh, and I only have like 19 arcane, so. But we're going for the fire, and we got the poison on the back. Something that I think is also crucial to playing the madness build. Yeah, I could sit here and like if I got invaded right now, if I'm in the PvP, I could sit there and just like launch this bad boy from like distance, right? Because it does like insane, like the range on it is crazy, right? The thing about all the madness incantations and move set is that they all have the same like animate startup animation. So instead of just like sniping somebody, which like again you could do, sure, that's if you want to cheese, like I don't necessarily agree with that method, but you could do it. But instead, what you want to do is like if you look at my bar down here, at the bottom left corner, I what I do is I'll start off at long distance. I might fire off this right, just to get them like okay, he uses madness. All right. Then I'll swap out and I'll start spamming this. Right. I'll spam it. Right. Get them nice and ready to get close. Bang. Right. So now they're really cautious. Alright, this dude's gonna try to spam, which I'm not necessarily what I'm going for. I'm playing mind games. I'm getting in my opponent's head. I want them to think that I'm aiming for something, one thing, and I'm not, and I'll do something else. So while all that's going down, I might pop this off, just to, confuse them, right? Ultimately, what I want to get off, though, in reality, I want them close enough so that when I go to do the animation, grab them. And then I just share all my childhood trauma with them, and that's it, right? But that is a process. Like, I actually have to fight with them. I'll have to, throw some, melee combos in there. Roll. I got to, pick my chance. But that's how you want to do it. I don't necessarily stand around and like just spam the frenzy burst and once I get them locked into the animation I just troll it. Nah, it's not necessarily fun for me. And also like I said, even though this is like my PvP build, I also play through the game with this, so unfortunately you can't use that tactic really against NPCs, and the inescapable frenzy doesn't work on them. Like you can sort of stun them with an animation, but they block it, and then like that's kind of like it. But that's fine. I'm not trying to get madness procced on NPCs. I want to buff fire damage. That's what I want. I want fire damage. So normally my right armament, which is Vike Spear, it only hits for like 711, something around there. But with the fire boost, it goes up to 903, right? And then even if you look at my left hand, that 1115, that's my seal. It usually doesn't do that much damage. See? Now they go back to the regular stats right after the buff is done. So that's what we're going for. We're going for the flame damage. We also got a little heal buff going on with the blessing of the Erd Tree, which drinks FP, but it's worth it. And then we got flame fall upon them. Very nice spell. Or incantation, doesn't cost a lot of FP. We're going for fire here. And then let's say you got somebody, because my friends, their builds are all pretty sweet. And then we got a mage, we got a tank. Somebody uses melee, um, or actually I think he's like a dark flame holy knight or something like that. But he's got a shield and he's tanky and tough. Um, and then we have like a dragon priest. So when we duel, it's not like I beat them all the time. In fact, they usually beat me 9 times out of 10. Um, and that's, they have really great builds, and they're awesome players. But uh, when I do catch them, like I caught my friend Brett, he's the tank. I caught him with the inescapable frenzy, and I melted him, and he was just like, "What?" You know what I mean? But that was like, once he was aware of that, he would play a little more cautiously with me and give me room, which is perfect when I switch over to my spears here. I'm going for those stabs because I just really want to get the poison on them. And once it's on them, I'll go for one of these, or I'll use that to back him up, keep the distance, and I'll circle the cloud, throw it off here, and you just circle the cloud for defense. Things like that, like get creative, you know what I mean? Come with combo attacks, things like that. And then I might switch back over to my spear. But never will you ever catch me spamming frenzy burst or just running around spraying endurable frenzy. That's kind of lame to me, but that's how I've been doing it. This is my build, my madness build. But yeah, we're gonna use the poison. Like I think poison is another status effect that probably wound up getting nerfed at some point. As you guys didn't know, if you poison an enemy with like melee attacks with strikes, you know what I mean? Like that move right there is real nice, especially if you pop it and you go around a little bit. Boom. I didn't do it right, but one of those is nice dodge catch. Bang. Right? Let's say they're poisoned after a couple of pokes. I'll start baiting them to come back. Wham. Right? That move right there, if I catch them with the slash, I guess what happens, or at least from what I understand, because they're already poisoned, when you proc the poison again from like a poison attack, there's another one, the poison moth flight, it works better with, or best with, I guess. You really get to see it. That move just straight shreds health, shreds your HP, your opponent's HP, and they're still poisoned. So the poison dot itself is not that great. It ticks very like slowly, and it doesn't take a lot of health throughout like the process, the time they're under the status element. But if it does like increase the damage you deal excuse me, after the fact. So once it's already on them, you know what I mean, that's when you just really start going in. So that's why I haven't. And then once, they decide they want to play range or what have you, that's when I'll start firing off frenzy burst and throwing, fireballs at them. Things like that. Alright, and that's pretty much how I play this build. I will upload clips of PvP matches I have, duels. Me and my friends have a tournament coming up between us, just goofing off, playing around. I'll upload that, as well as my main build, which I think you guys are going to like. It's a hammer build, lightning hammer build, strength faith kind of sort of thing. Contrary to this build, well, not really, because this is a faith dex build, but yeah, that's pretty much what we're going for. This is what we're looking for, and I hope this was helpful. I'm still going to play a madness build just because I love this build so much and I've grown accustomed to it. If you have a madness build, please let me know down in the comments below. This was helpful. If you were a frenzy burst spammer, thanks, I guess. And till next time, guys. Peace.